My dad is the most manipulative person I have ever met in my life. I don't know when the sexual abuse exactly started, but there's a specific memory when I was 4 years old that occurred in the bathtub. We were playing doctor and I was touching him. He didn't stop me from doing it. I blocked it out. When I started therapy, that's when all the flashbacks started occurring.
I took a polygraph test 5 years ago. They asked me if I ever touched my daughter sexually, and I said no.
He failed that polygraph.
I think I was set up to fail.
If this result doesn't turn out the way you want it to, you're not going to complain that this was a setup.
No.
All right, John, you were asked these two questions. Have you ever touched any of your children for a sexual purpose? And you answered?
No.
Since they were born, have you ever touched any of your children for a sexual purpose? And you answered?
No.
And the results were that you were non-deceptive to both questions, that you were telling the truth. Well, I can't tell you the burden I feel when I do these things, because you have to take very seriously what may have happened, and when you're not there, you don't know. You have to kind of start unpacking everything, and all I can do is give it my best professional opinion. From the standpoint of a forensic investigator, I agree with this test. I don't think he's ever touched you or your brother for sexual purposes. I think there's something that's generally referred to as a false memory syndrome, where actual neurons in the brain are connected together to create engrams that become memories that are made up of the building blocks of different things, sights and sounds and perceptions that get shifted into long-term memory and become reality. You notice at the end, I didn't ask her to accept what I said. I asked her to consider it and explore it on her own, and I'll get her the professional help to do it. But the takeaway that I want you as a viewer to have is everything has to be subject to challenge. Everything has to be subject to taking a new point of view and a new perspective about it. When we're talking about repressed memory, there's an awful lot of debate about whether this is a thing or not. Now, the DSM-5, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of the American Psychiatric Association, has included dissociative amnesia in the manual for the first time in a long time, and it talks about that you dissociated from something that happened in your life, and then it starts coming back to you across time. I'm not really sure where I come down on that. I tend to be pretty skeptical about whether we really have repressed memories come back. There have been people that have gone to jail over something that I think is very, very questionable. But if somebody's telling you that they've got these memories coming back from 20 years ago, start asking questions. So this is a year after you remembered it, and the police say that the victim was informed by her mother that she had a history of sexual abuse by her father, and the victim, you, related that she does not recall being abused and has only been fed information by her mother. This is a year after you say that you remembered it,
Yeah.
and a year later you say, I don't remember
I know. I did that a bunch of times because I was really mad at my mom, and I knew that I would have to go to court. I knew that I would have to go through this whole process, and I didn't want to deal with it.
I have professional skepticism, but I ask her to keep an open mind. I do the same thing, and I hope I showed today that I had an open mind and looked at the data rather than just making an opinion. You do the same.